Close your eyes for just a moment. Now open them. How long does it take before things actually come into focus? If the answer is more than a few seconds, or if you notice that your vision feels a little hazy, a little dull, a little slower than it used to be, I want you to stay with me because what I am about to share with you is something I walk through with patients in my office every single week, and almost none of them have ever heard it before. My name is Dr. William, and in my 15 years of practice, one of the most common things I hear from adults over 60 is some version of this. Doc, my vision is getting worse, and I feel like there is nothing I can do about it. They have already been to the eye doctor. They have new glasses. Maybe they have tried some drops, and yet every morning they wake up squinting. Every night, the headlights on the highway feel like someone is shining a flashlight directly into their eyes. And they have been told, more or less, that this is just aging. Here is what almost no one explains to you in a 1 2 minute office visit: blurry vision, dry eyes, difficulty adjusting from bright rooms to dim ones, that hazy morning vision that takes forever to clear. These are not simply the price of getting older. In many cases, they are the result of specific, identifiable biological processes happening inside your eye tissue right now. And the most damaging part of that process happens at night, while you sleep, when you assume your body is healing. The American Optometric Association is direct about this. Once you are past 60, the structures of your eye become significantly more fragile and more vulnerable to damage. The National Eye Institute has also warned that vision loss among Americans is rising faster than at any point in recorded history. And a study published in JAMA Ophthalmology in 2023 confirmed something researchers had been observing for years, that age-related retinal damage typically begins with silent changes deep inside the eye, driven by oxidative stress and chronic low-grade inflammation. Changes that most people do not notice until the damage is already meaningful. But here is the part I want you to really hear, because this is where it gets genuinely exciting. More recent research has uncovered that certain everyday fruits contain natural compounds that your eyes are quite literally craving during sleep. Compounds that support the regeneration of damaged light sensing cells, improve circulation to the back of the eye, and may even slow the progression of conditions like macular degeneration, which remains the leading cause of central vision loss in adults over 60. No prescription, no surgical consultation, no expensive specialty supplement. Fruit eaten the right way at the right time. Today, I am going to walk you through 7 of those fruits in order of their documented impact. And I am going to give you the exact protocol for each one, because eating them the wrong way can cancel out a significant portion of the benefit. We will also talk about 5 rules at the end that apply to all of them. And if you skip those rules, you could eat every fruit on this list and still not see results. Before I get into it, drop your age in the comments below. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know where you are in this journey. Let us start at number 7, and that is kiwi. Small, a little fuzzy, easy to walk right past at the grocery store. But for aging eyes, the research behind this fruit is impressive. Here is the biology. Think of your retina like the film inside an old camera. It is the layer at the very back of your eye that captures incoming light and converts it into a signal your brain can read. As we age, that film gets damaged. Oxidative stress, which is essentially your cells rusting from the inside, accumulates in that tissue. The result is what many of my patients describe as vision that never quite feels sharp anymore, especially in the morning and especially in low light. Kiwi contains 2 nutrients that eye researchers return to again and again: lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of these as natural internal sunglasses. They sit inside the layers of your retina, absorbing harmful blue light and providing antioxidant protection during the overnight repair process. On top of that, kiwi contains a unique combination of antioxidants and a small amount of naturally occurring serotonin, which supports deeper, more restorative sleep. And deep sleep is when your eyes do their most important repair work. The two are more connected than most people realize. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who consumed 2 golden kiwis daily experienced measurable improvements in visual sharpness, along with reduced morning dryness and eye redness. 2 pieces of fruit, measurable results. How to use it. Eat 2 golden kiwis, not green ones, about an hour before bed. Golden kiwis carry more lutein, produce less acid, and sit easier on the stomach at night, which matters when you are trying to get quality sleep. And here is a detail most people miss completely. Do not peel all the way to the edge. That thin inner layer of flesh right beneath the skin contains concentrated caffeic acid, a potent antioxidant. Scoop the fruit out with a spoon and leave that inner edge intact. Number 6 is watermelon. And if you have ever wondered why your vision is still blurry an hour after waking up, this one is worth paying close attention to. As we age, blood flow to the retina gradually slows. Think of it like a delivery truck that used to arrive at 6 in the morning and now shows up sometime around noon. The cells in the back of your eye are not getting their supplies on time. And the result is that foggy, slow to clear morning vision that so many of my patients describe. Watermelon is over 90% water. So the hydration benefit is obvious, but research points to something deeper. Watermelon is one of the richest dietary sources of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that has been linked in observational studies to reduced oxidative damage in retinal cells and potential protective effects against cataracts and macular degeneration. Research has also shown that people who eat watermelon regularly tend to have higher circulating levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, those same key vision nutrients from our kiwi discussion. And certain compounds in watermelon support nitric oxide production, which relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the retina during sleep. How to use it. Enjoy 1 to 2 cups of chilled seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. Skip the salt. Added sodium can raise the pressure inside your eye, which the Glaucoma Research Foundation identifies as a significant and potentially irreversible risk factor for vision loss. Pro tip, do not throw away the rind. That white section near the skin contains citrulline, an amino acid that supports healthy blood vessel function. You can blend it into a smoothie or lightly pickle it if you are feeling adventurous. Number 5 is one that most Americans have genuinely never purchased, and that is black currants. Tiny, deep purple, easy to overlook in the store. But when it comes to protecting your night vision and the health of your optic nerve, these little berries are quietly remarkable. Let me tell you about someone I will call Margaret, 7'1", from Tucson, Arizona. She came in telling me she had been struggling with halos around streetlights at night and increasing difficulty moving between brightly lit and dimly lit rooms, like walking from her kitchen into the living room in the evening. Her eye doctor had not found anything clinically alarming yet, but she was frustrated. Over the course of about 4 months, we made several targeted dietary changes, one of which was introducing a standardized black currant extract into her evening routine. At her next visit, she told me the halos were noticeably reduced and she had stopped avoiding driving at night. I am not telling you black currants fixed everything. I am telling you that targeted nutrition at the right dose, at the right time, can make a measurable difference before a condition becomes a diagnosis. The specific problem black currants address is retinal microinflammation and reduced blood flow to the optic nerve. Over time, that chronic low-grade inflammation blurs vision, creates halos around lights, and causes progressive eye strain in dim conditions. A stronger glasses prescription cannot fix that. What makes black currants exceptional is their anthocyanin content. Anthocyanins are the deep pigments that give these berries their dark color, and inside the eye, they do several things at once. They calm inflammation, they support blood vessel dilation, and they help restore rhodopsin, the visual pigment responsible for your eye's ability to adjust from bright light to darkness. A randomized placebo controlled trial found that 50 milligrams of blackcurrant anthocyanins daily over 24 months significantly improved blood flow to the optic nerve and meaningfully slowed the progression of visual field loss compared to placebo. A separate pilot study in patients with normal tension glaucoma found that blackcurrant anthocyanins increased retinal blood flow and helped normalize levels of endothelin, a compound involved in blood vessel constriction, pointing to genuine neuroprotective potential. How to use it? Fresh black currants are difficult to find in most grocery stores. Look for a standardized blackcurrant anthocyanin extract of around 50 milligrams daily taken in the evening alongside your other fruits for better absorption. Pair it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few walnuts, or a source of vitamin C, like a slice of orange. Nutrient synergy genuinely matters here. And as always, never stop a medication on your own. Bring this information to your doctor, especially if you are already being treated for a glaucoma related condition. Number four is one you almost certainly already have at home, and that is blueberries. But here is the part that surprises most of my patients. The majority of people eat blueberries in a way that cancels out a significant portion of their eye protective benefit. Think of the photoreceptors in your retina like the individual pixels on a camera sensor. Years of ultraviolet exposure accumulate. Your natural antioxidant defenses gradually thin, and slowly you start squinting at text, struggling in dim light, or asking yourself why your vision feels blurry even with glasses on. The key compound in blueberries is pterostilbin, which is chemically related to resveratrol, but significantly more bioavailable, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it. Research suggests it can cross what is called the blood retinal barrier and act directly on DNA damage in light sensitive cells. A 2023 study published in Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults who consumed wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks showed notable improvements in visual acuity and reported meaningfully less eye strain when viewing screens in low light. But here is the critical detail. Not all blueberries are equal. The large, shiny, cultivated blueberries commonly sold in supermarkets have measurably lower antioxidant density. Wild blueberries, the small, dark ones typically found in the frozen section, carry nearly double the concentration of active compounds. And frozen is just as effective as fresh. How to use them correctly. About 1/3 of a cup of wild blueberries, 45 minutes before bed. And here's the pro tip that most people get completely wrong. Do not combine them with dairy. The proteins in milk bind to anthocyanins and physically block their absorption in the gut. Instead, lightly freeze and then thaw your blueberries before eating. That process breaks down the cell walls and dramatically increases the bioavailability of the antioxidants, meaning your eyes can actually access them during overnight repair. Number three, surprises almost everyone. We are talking about dragon fruit. You have seen it in stores. Pink on the outside, dramatic on the inside, but the variety matters enormously. You want the deep red flesh. The white varieties do not contain what we are after. The specific problem red dragon fruit addresses is something called retinal hypoxia. Think of your retina like a neighborhood at the edge of town. It is the last stop on the delivery route. When circulation slows down during sleep, that neighborhood does not get its full supply of oxygen and nutrients. The result is that you can sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up with tired, heavy eyes. Your peripheral vision starts to blur, colors look flatter than they used to. Red dragon fruit is rich in betalains, a class of antioxidants that research shows can support nitric oxide production in blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the molecule that relaxes and widens the tiny capillaries that supply your retina. Think of it as widening the roads into that neighborhood so the delivery trucks can get through. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Biology reported that participants who consumed red dragon fruit extract for 6 weeks showed meaningful improvements in ocular circulation, contrast sensitivity, and visual field depth. In practical terms, they could see more clearly in low light and reported noticeable reductions in blurry vision. How to use it? Half a red flesh dragon fruit about an hour before bed, and here is a pro tip almost everyone misses. Do not swallow the black seeds whole, chew them. Those seeds contain omega 3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which play documented roles in retinal nerve health and repair. Swallowed whole, you lose nearly all of that benefit. I had a patient I will call Robert, 7'8", from Portland, Oregon. Robert had been complaining for almost 2 years about flat looking colors and difficulty distinguishing contrast in dim rooms. He was an avid woodworker, and it was starting to affect his ability to work safely. We introduced red dragon fruit alongside a few other targeted changes. At his 6 week follow up, he told me, and I remember this clearly, that he had gone back into his workshop for the first time in months. His color perception had noticeably improved. I want to be clear, this was one piece of a broader approach, but that piece mattered to him enormously. Now, before we get to the top two fruits on this list, and I promise you, number one is going to change how you think about something you likely already have in your kitchen. I want to take a moment. We have covered a lot of ground today. Kiwi, watermelon, black currants, blueberries, dragon fruit, each one targeting a specific biological process behind vision decline, oxidative damage, poor circulation, inflammation, impaired dark adaptation. If you want all of this in one place, including my full guide on foods that act as medicine for the aging body, the list of medications worth discussing with your doctor, and the complete manual I put together for patients over 70, that is all inside the Complete Senior Health Vault. You can find the link in the description below, or simply scan the QR code on your screen right now. I put it together because 12 minutes in a doctor's office is not enough time to have this conversation properly, and you deserve the full conversation. Now, let us get to the top two, because what comes next is where the real science gets extraordinary. Number two is goji berries. Bright red, slightly sweet, used in traditional medicine for centuries, specifically for eye health, and now the clinical evidence is beginning to align with that tradition. Here is the exact problem goji berries target: macular thinning. The macula is the central zone of your retina, roughly the size of a pencil eraser, and it is responsible for the sharp, detailed vision you use to read, recognize faces, and see color with clarity. Think of it as the high definition center of your visual field. As we age, oxidative stress and reduced circulation gradually degrade that tissue. That is the foundational process behind age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of irreversible vision loss in adults over 60 worldwide. What makes goji berries exceptional is their zeaxanthin content. Goji berries are among the highest natural dietary sources of zeaxanthin on the planet. While lutein predominantly protects the outer retina, zeaxanthin concentrates specifically in the macula, your center of vision. That targeted concentration matters. A 2021 study published in Nutrients followed adults aged 60 to 80 who consumed dried goji berries 5 days a week for 90 days. The results showed a significant increase in macular pigment optical density, which is a direct measurable indicator of macular protection. And no participant in the study showed further progression of macular degeneration during the trial period. For anyone concerned about losing visual independence, that finding deserves serious attention. How to use them. Soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes. Then eat them roughly 30 minutes before bed. Soaking softens them and improves digestibility, which genuinely matters for older digestive systems. And here is a pro tip with real science behind it. Pair your goji berries with a small square of high quality dark chocolate, at least 85% cacao. The flavonoids in cocoa have been shown to enhance the absorption of zeaxanthin. Together, they create a nutritional synergy your macula can actually use. And honestly, as evening snacks go, there are worse prescriptions. And finally, number one, the fruit that tops this entire list for aging eye health is papaya. Not exotic, not expensive. You may have one sitting on your counter right now. But when you eat it correctly, it targets one of the most destructive and most overlooked processes behind blurry vision, cloudy lenses, and early cataract formation. The enemy papaya goes after is called glycation. Let me explain what that means in plain terms. Imagine your eye's lens like a clear glass window. Glycation is what happens when excess blood sugar slowly smears that window with a sticky residue that you cannot wipe off from the outside. That residue is formed when glucose in your bloodstream binds to the proteins in your eye tissue, creating compounds that progressively cloud your lens and degrade your retina. This process is happening silently and continuously in most people over 60, and is one of the most underappreciated contributors to age related vision loss. Papaya is rich in papain, a naturally occurring enzyme with documented anti inflammatory and protein modifying properties. Think of papain like a gentle internal cleaning crew that helps interrupt the glycation process before the damage becomes permanent. Papaya also delivers a powerful combination of vitamins A, C, and E alongside folate, nutrients that research consistently links to tear film stability, retinal protection, and reduced oxidative stress inside the eye. A 2023 study published in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who consumed papaya in the evening showed lower levels of glycation markers in follow-up testing, along with stronger tear production and measurable improvements in contrast vision within 6 weeks. For seniors dealing with dry eyes, blurry morning vision, or early stage cataracts, those are meaningful outcomes. Let me tell you about someone I will call Donna, 7'4", from Sarasota, Florida. Donna came in deeply frustrated. She had a very early stage cataract in one eye. Her optometrist had confirmed it, but she was not yet a surgical candidate. She told me she felt like she was just waiting to go blind. We talked about several evidence-informed nutritional approaches, and one of the consistent things we introduced was an evening papaya routine. Over about 2 months, her morning dryness improved significantly. She described her vision as feeling less like she was looking through a smudged lens. She was not cured, the cataract did not disappear, but her quality of daily vision improved in a way that felt meaningful to her. That matters. You do not have to wait for a crisis to act. How to use it? 1 cup of ripe papaya cubes about an hour before bed. 2 things matter here. Fresh is better than processed, and room temperature is better than cold. Take your papaya out of the refrigerator at least 30 to 60 minutes before eating. Cold temperatures suppress enzyme activity, and you want papain at full strength when it reaches your digestive system. Do not pair it with dairy for the same absorption blocking reason we discussed with blueberries. Pro tip: squeeze fresh lime juice over your papaya before eating. The vitamin C in the lime meaningfully boosts your body's absorption of vitamin A. Your eyes get more of what they need, and it genuinely tastes better too. Now, before we close, there are 5 rules that apply to every single fruit on this list. Without these, you could follow every protocol I just described and still not get the full benefit. Rule 1, do not combine with high calcium foods. If you eat your papaya or blueberries shortly after milk, yogurt, or calcium fortified cereal, you are actively blocking absorption of lutein and zeaxanthin. Research has shown that high calcium meals consumed alongside antioxidant rich fruits can reduce absorption of key eye nutrients by up to 30%. Give yourself at least 90 minutes between dairy and your evening fruit. Treat it as a standalone snack, not part of a larger meal. Rule 2, always add a small amount of healthy fat. Most of the key nutrients in these fruits are fat soluble, meaning your body simply cannot absorb them without fat present. Think of fat as the vehicle that carries these compounds from your gut to your eye tissue. A few walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a few slices of avocado alongside your fruit can boost absorption by more than 50%, according to published research. Same food, dramatically better delivery. Rule 3: wash gently. This one surprises people. Aggressive scrubbing under hard running water removes a significant portion of the surface antioxidants, particularly on blueberries and black currants, where the protective compounds are concentrated in and near the skin. Rinse gently under cool water, pat dry, and wash right before eating, not hours in advance. Rule 4: room temperature over cold. Refrigeration suppresses the enzyme activity in several of these fruits, most notably papain in papaya. Below a certain temperature, these enzymes lose their functional activity. Take your fruit out 30 to 60 minutes before eating and let it come to room temperature so your body can extract maximum benefit. Rule 5: timing is everything. Eat your fruit 60 to 90 minutes before going to bed. Too early, and the nutrients are metabolized and cleared before your eyes enter their primary repair window during deep sleep. Too late and active digestion disrupts the deep sleep your eyes need to do the actual repair work. That 60 to 90-minute window is not arbitrary. It aligns with what the research suggests about nutrient availability and the timing of your body's overnight cellular maintenance cycle. Here is what I want you to take away from all of this. Blurry vision is not simply an inevitable consequence of aging. In many cases, it is the result of specific identifiable processes: oxidative damage, inflammation, poor circulation, glycation, and growing evidence suggests that certain fruits, eaten at the right time and in the right way, can meaningfully support your eye's natural overnight repair processes. Think about what that means in your daily life. Reading without squinting, driving at night without that anxious grip on the steering wheel, waking up in the morning and actually seeing clearly within minutes, looking at the people you love and seeing every detail. That is what this is really about. Not just clearer vision, your independence, your confidence, your quality of life. Now, I want to hear from you. If your vision became noticeably clearer tomorrow morning, what is the first thing you would want to look at? Your grandchildren? A garden you have been missing? A book you have been avoiding? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and I mean that genuinely. And I want to be clear about something. Everything I have shared today is educational information, not a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you are experiencing vision changes, please see a licensed eye care professional. Never stop a medication on your own, and bring any of these nutritional approaches to your doctor before making significant changes, especially if you are managing diabetes, glaucoma, or macular conditions that are already under treatment. I will tell you something I believe deeply after 15 years in practice. The healthcare system is not designed with enough time to have these conversations properly. It is not malice, it is economics. A 1-2 minute visit simply cannot cover what you deserve to know about preventing the conditions that will cost you your independence. That is exactly why I am here. In the next video, I am going to talk about something most people never connect to their vision at all: the specific medications that are silently accelerating eye damage in adults over 65 and what to ask your doctor about instead. That one may genuinely surprise you. If this was helpful today, share it with someone over 60 in your life. You might make a real difference for them. Take care of your eyes. They are irreplaceable.